Hello, World Tank Blitzers. It's Friday, November 5th, and that means time for another store review. Neat little garage we've got going on for Blitz Cup. You can see the banners for each of the 4 regions, and that is important because of this big old flashing icon we have right here, which is the current event in order to get you the Action X or Centurion Mark 5.1 or the Progetto 46. 3 amazing tanks at your disposal with this charm here. So I did a video on how to get this. Basically, you're going to come in for your first victory of every day for the rest of this month. You're going to get 10 of these cups. That's going to equal 260 cups. You need 600 to get to the end is what we found out yesterday. And you get 80 for watching 2 hours of one of the streams. So you have to watch at least 5 streams. If you missed the Asia server, which was yesterday and today, you still have time. The next 3 weeks, we're going to have the other 3 regions. So you can watch 5 of those 6, and you get yourself enough of those cups to get yourself an amazing free tank. And as I pointed out, even if you have all 3 of those tanks, you're going to get, I think it was 3,750 gold. So nice little payday just for watching some online tanking. All right, so let's talk about real quick the Operation Fire of Victory. Again, you know the deal with the battle passes, and we talked about this at length, I believe, last week, or part of the video that I did on the event. $5 is all that it costs to get everything below this bottom line, as long as you're coming in and you're completing your daily missions. So over 3,000 gold, a tier 4, a tier 6 premium or collector tank, lots of silver, lots of XP, and premium time. So for $5, it's the best deal out there, really. You can obviously, if we go to the store, get yourself a little bit of a boost for $20 and jump the first 25 levels. So let's talk about all-out attack here. 500 gold for 3 days of premium time is what you would pay just straight up in the store. So everything to the right is additional, basically for free, right? Now, they've got boosters in store right now, so we can actually put a gold price to them, and it's about 100. So this is what Wargaming is saying, not me, that this is worth about 500 gold for 5 boosters. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that value is a little overstated, but you'll see these in a bundle down below when we get there. But that's what Wargaming is saying. So if you agree with that, then this is a good deal. If you're like me and don't agree with that, then this isn't so much of a good deal. Hey, look, we've got Super Conqueror to talk about. Obviously, we've got lots of crates to talk about, even the hot dog. Nice. So here are the, under resources, the boosters. Now, just note, this is the first time I'm seeing this. This is for tier 8s. So we might want to double check on these 2 as well. So 100 5x boosters, so there's equates to 75 gold per booster. If we look at this one here, 2,500, 100 gold per booster. Just want to see if this says anything about, no, it does not, about what tier you have to be in. But that's kind of interesting. This doesn't really say it here either, just at the top. So if anyone knows, if anyone's purchased this, let me know if this is just for tier 8s or if this is for any tanks. Because obviously you want to be using these on tanks you're grinding up the tech tree lines, because that's how we get so much experience points. It's like basically playing 5 battles at one time, right? So keep that in mind. I don't necessarily agree with the price on this. I think it's high for me personally. But I could certainly see those of you that haven't been playing as long and want to grind up those tech tree lines, these 5x boosters really do make it much easier. All right, so let's take a look at strategic advantage, which has 30 days of premium, 12,500 gold. So your gold price is not great, but when you throw in the 5x boosters and the 30 days of premium, it makes the deal a little bit more beneficial, I would say. And then 100 of these boosters across the board. This is not really that bad of a deal, in my opinion. We've got smaller ones here. So this is going to have an additional 10 versus 25 boosters, 4,000 gold. So, the gold price is right around 400. I think it was like 425 on the last one, which is not bad in of itself. And then you're getting those boosters, which if we put the wargaming price on it, makes this a good deal. So let's talk about Super Conqueror. 25,000 gold. Yes, this is a lot of gold, but I would say, like, if you've just had that pop-up offer for in the crates that comes up on your desktop, it's like 16,000 gold for 20 bucks. Then you can just add in a little bit, so you're paying about $25 at the best for this tank. That's a lot for a tier 10 tank, granted, but this is a really fun. I think a lot of people, think of this as a unique, fun tank to play. On top of that, you've got 5 mystery boxes, okay? So the mystery boxes give you a 5% chance of getting an additional tank, and you're also going to get some gold back out of this. So that 25,000 gold is going to come down a little bit. If you're really unlucky, let's say you only get 500 out of it. But here's the interesting part. There's an order with this that once you get the tank and you win 50 battles in it in 10 days, so 5 a day, you're going to get an additional 5 boxes. So I thought that was kind of neat. I like these order ideas and 35x boosters. So a great tank, a really high price, but some interesting 10 extra containers potential in there with it as well. By itself, 20,000. I think the difference here of 5,000 gold for everything that you get with the camo, the 5x boosters, everything that you get here is definitely worth the 5,000 gold. So if you're on the fence, I would go with the bigger one here. All right, and to put this into comparison, we've got the WZ111 5A for sale for 20,000 gold, and that does come with the camo and the 5x boosters, and so it's 5,000 less gold, but you don't get those crates. And this is nowhere near a tank that I think you could compare to the Super Conqueror. This is a mediocre tier 10, whereas the Super Conqueror I would put as one of the better tanks there. So there is that. A lot of gold here for some tier 10 premium tanks, or I guess in this case, collector tanks. We have got a bundle for only 5,000 gold, which is the VK4503, which has seen some improvements lately. It's not a horrible tank. It's in the German playstyle, mediocre armor, really accurate gun, got good mobility. It's a fun tank to play, but it's not one of the greatest overpowered tanks. The armor's just okay. And then you've got the Krupp 38D, which is a tier 5 tank. Again, it's got some decent mobility to it. Pretty long reload, but we're talking German identity here of the really good gun handling on these tanks. So just keep that in mind if you're interested in these tanks. Again, the price is right for a tier 5 and tier 7, but maybe the tanks aren't right. Just not tanks I think you're going to be playing a lot by themselves. If I had to choose one over the other, definitely the VK4503, but it does have a hard time against tier 8s. I will say that. All right, so Hot Tog. This is a tank that's been given away for free several times. I would expect a lot of you have had this tank already. So maybe a small crowd of you that don't already have the tank. Super slow. It does have a huge amount of hit points, but you're just a big old barn, and everyone loves to farm damage off you. It's a tough tank to play. You're gonna get the 2 camo containers, big deal, and 14 days of premium. Um, so not a tank that I would recommend anyone spending money to buy, to be honest with you. Triple Menace, I think we talked about this last week. You've got the Type 59 here in the middle, heavily armored medium tank. If you face hug people in this, I guarantee they're going to have a hard time penning you. But because of that, it is a slower medium tank, good gun accuracy, and a decent all-around tank. Kind of um, not my favorite just because of the lack of mobility, but it is a very solid tank. And then you've got the 59 patent, which you know, it's average speed, decent gun. Even though these are Chinese tanks, it does sport, everything that the patent does, very American-ish play style. And then lastly, you've got the Type 64, which has 0 for armor, which is a very scary prospect when you're sitting at tier 6 and tier 7 with all of those big old dirt guns like SUs, smashers, and whatnot. But I like it. It's fun. It's challenging. It does have that mobility. It's a light tank for spotting and whatnot. So interesting little bundle. Again, not all of these tanks are great. I would just put the Type 59 in the really good category. And so maybe you would just want to pick that up by itself. Double trouble here. Let's see what we've got. $4, low tier tanks. If you're a collector and want to pick these up, or if you want to sell them for just over 2,000 gold. Uh, really, the only benefit I can see, again, for those that haven't seen the store reviews in a while, I have a lot of trouble getting into the battles at tiers 3 and 4 for those tanks. There's a few tanks I still haven't aced, and I still have trouble getting into battle with those tanks. Again, gold currently 2 times what you would normally get, 35,000 gold for $50. Once you buy this, the deal goes away. So this is a one-time offer from what I understand. Now, here is where you can choose your free tank once you've watched enough of the streams and picked up enough of the cups from winning your first battle of the day. Also here, which I thought was really interesting, which I'll probably go ahead and purchase, is another order. We saw this order on the Super Conqueror Rex. This one here, you win 50 battles in the Progetto, and you have to do that in 10 days, and you get this camouflage for it, which obviously is the Blitz Cup camo there, and it looks like we've got the NA logos on it. So kind of interesting little gimmick there in order to get, most of the time when we see camos for tanks, it's in the 3,000, 4,000 range. So lower price for a camo, but then you have to kind of complete the mission, so to speak, in order to get it. And I like how they've added this Twister Cup section because now you can see where all of the seasonal coins go and what you can spend on those seasonal coins. And remember, guys, those aren't just from playing tournaments. If you play ratings battles, you get 15, I believe, for a victory. So you can cash in those seasonal coins, which are just sitting there. Here's your premium account. Time stays the same pretty much. Make sure that you are getting your containers when they become available. Also, for people like me that have just way too much silver here to spend, I go ahead and buy the three for 65,000, just because sometimes I'll get that much back in the container, or I'll just end up getting boosters, which have more value to me than, credits that I can't ever use. And so we do have a big container collection, 25 bucks, 19 containers here. The one thing with these containers is that depending upon which tank you choose, this one only has a 2.5% drop chance for the AMX, um, 5% for the WZ. So the 3.5. So they can't really even put, what your probability of getting a tank out of this is, just because these vary so much in their drop chances. So again, it's gambling on crates. You don't know necessarily even if you get a tank or what tank you will get. Granted, though, if you look at this list of tanks, they're all pretty solid tanks. Object 260, Chimera, Action X, they're all pretty solid tanks here. So if you do get one of those, I think you'll be pretty happy with it. The WZ1115A container, it bears note here that you've got 5,000 gold out of this if you don't get the tank. So that puts you at 416 gold. So even if you don't get the tank, which is a 20% drop chance, you are going to get over 400 gold per dollar out of that $12 investment. So, lower risk, obviously not a great deal if you still got those 2x boosters, or 2x gold available. But again, at least you're getting something and not totally just not getting anything out of these crates. The Defender crates, the interesting thing with these is it's an 8% drop chance. My understanding is if you already have the tank, you're only going to get silver out of it. So that is a downside to me. And then the Bad Company tanks are kind of these hybrid nation tanks that most of these have been available for free or for really cheap. So a little bit disappointing with that. But hey, look, 5,000 gold if you get one of the tanks that you already have. So that's going to be it for the store review. Make sure that you check to see when those live streams are going to be for the Blitz Cup. And hopefully you get one of those 3 tanks, perhaps in the next week or so. I'll put out an updated review on these tanks because they're each really, really solid. Action X is a little bit slower, great armor. The Mark 5.1, faster medium, really good hull armor on this, fast firing gun, and the Progetto with the active reloading system. Not much in the way of armor, but just a fast medium, and having that reloader is just amazing with the clip damage that you can do on it. So with that, guys, I'm going to end the review here, starting to ramble a little bit. So look for the channel. We'll try to put out when the next streams are going to be, and hopefully you can get yourself a free tank. So with that, guys, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.